Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone wherever you are in the world, and welcome back. We took a little bit of a break, but we are here in Austria for round 6 of Rush Racing North America and Europe. As always, I am your host, GameHawk, and now with me today, actually, it is... I don't really know necessarily what to call you. You changed your name. Last time you were Verstappen, now you're Antonelli. So I might just call you XD from now on, but my commentator XD, how are you doing right now? I don't think really anyone likes the car, which actually, speaking of, supposedly those regulations are coming into F125 in April, as far as I've seen and heard from people. So I am interested to see when, or not when, but how those cars are gonna function in the game. But yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, no, from what I was seeing, last time I checked, though, I thought it was going to be delayed because the Season 6 isn't supposed to end around June 3rd.
Oh, really? Okay, I did not hear that.
Yeah, they posted it, and I was looking, I'm like, wait, so is the DLC delayed?
Yeah, so it must be delayed. And actually, we do see, yeah, it is a short qualifying, so we only have 18 minutes for this grid of 16 drivers to get their fastest laps. It is actually kind of interesting to see these 2025 cars race versus what we've seen so far in real life with the 2026 regulations. I think personally, I've so far liked the 25 cars more from what I can really tell from the races. But I mean, maybe other people have their opinions, but I mean, just watching even online, it just seems like I like these cars more.
Yeah, the 26 cars seem like they're gonna just not be really fun to race with because of all the new things like boost, I think it is, and where you can use overtake for like 2 seconds and have no more battery from what I was seeing with the race. And apparently some people at Australia didn't have any power or battery at all. And as we saw with Franco Colapinto, his fast reflexes on dodging Liam Lawson at the start, it seemed like people may not like this new regulation at all. And I am now on.
All right, if you are on, I will go ahead and get you an invite so that you can go ahead and join. There you are. And so far, still a long way to go. We only have a limited amount of drivers that have set times, or actually that are even on the track setting times. Right now, 810 has the fastest lap with a 1 minute 5.1. I can definitely imagine that we'll see lap times around that or faster. And I will say, in my opinion, Austria is probably one of my personal favorite tracks. And actually, just like that, Tukey will set the new fastest lap with a 104.0. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, I don't know how you feel about Austria, but I'm kind of interested to see how this will go, just because this is one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah, it is one of mine too. It's honestly probably one of my best tracks because I've been able to set a 102.9 here before.
Wow. I don't think I've ever done that before. I think the fastest that I ever set here was a 103.2, I want to say. And the only reason that was like significant to me was that I joined an open lobby with one of the there's another league that is called the Div1 league, and one of their drivers was doing open lobbies, and I joined them for Austria. I felt pretty proud about myself as a commentator. I don't get to show off very often as a driver. I had fun with it. I was proud of myself. But
Yeah. I honestly also I'm watching Tukey, and I'm looking at the car, the new livery. I honestly like that livery better than all the Williams livery that we have on this game. That is my favorite livery. And oh, there goes Lizzie with the pole.
yeah. Yeah, so far it looks like 104 is the fastest that we're seeing. I mean, if we see one of these drivers pull out like a 102, then I mean, like, we're gonna go crazy. It's gonna be like Austria at the beginning of the year. But I mean, so far we're still waiting on a lot more drivers to go ahead and set their laps, but I don't know how this is really gonna go, because I mean, you weren't here for 2 weeks ago when we were at Baku, and Baku was, I mean, crazy as always with turn 1 and honestly turn 3, and there's actually a new pole lap with a 103.7. So Legleb is just gonna go ahead and set the bar even higher than it already was. But I guess same with Baku. I'm interested to see how this is gonna go, because I think Austria turn 1 and then turn 4 is just infamous.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm not mad about missing Baku for Division 2 because I do not like that racetrack at all. I despise it.
I have gotten better personally with Baku. It's still definitely not one of my favorites. I've definitely just overall I've noticed that I am not as good on street circuits. I think Jeddah is the one exception to that. But I think sorry, go ahead.
I'm watching Greco's. He has no wing, no front wing at all.
Really? Oh, I'm watching Greco's as well, and for me, he does have a wing. That's weird.
Huh.
Perfect game. Don't worry about it. We still see a lot of people on outlaps, and actually, someone who's coming through for their lap right now is Meraki Don, who is currently, I believe, either the championship holder or he is at least second place, especially with recent weeks. He's not performed definitely up to his standard. One of the races he disconnected due to internet, which you can't really control that. And actually he does set a good time here with a 103.8. But then Baku as well, he just didn't, he got up into a good position, but it was still just kind of, everything kind of fell apart.
Yeah, he is actually third right now. But he's away from 1 point to second by Ilarion.
You actually beat me to it. I was pulling up the the points on my phone. That's one thing that I always notice as a commentator. I always end up saying something that I'm like, oh, why didn't I pull that up before the race started? But but yeah, and I mean, sorry, go ahead.
We always talk at the same time. It's funny, I swear. But I was looking at Division 2 as well, and I'm looking, and honestly, it seems like Haas is not going to be the same for Division 2 as it is for Division 1.
Yeah, I mean, both divisions have been very interesting in their own right, and I think it's definitely gotten more intriguing in Division 1, especially with Meraki Don's like 2-race skid, and that kind of allowed Alizzi and Illyrian, and even Money also is now into the title fight, and even you could even include Vide into it, which you can definitely give Vide a little bit of credit, or like include him in the championship. He is unfortunately not going to be able to race today, and actually he was probably the first one at the beginning of this week that was very sad to announce that he wasn't going to be here. So but he's definitely, Vide had a very good comeback versus his first few races. So it's really interesting to see Div1. You can see a lot of the dynamics are shifting where some drivers are having a little bit of a skid where they're not performing as well, but then you have others that are getting better and better as you go through the season.
Yeah, and I was honestly talking to you, and I was remembering the last race I was in, which was what was it? It was the race before Baku, I'm pretty sure. It was Canada. Yes,
Yes.
Canada. With the start where everything just kind of went like crazy, and I bumped up from P16 to P9. Like, I kind of hope that we have that type of like craziness in Div1, not the whole like people crashing, but the whole like people just going and blowing their start to where they're just going and gaining places like that.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely could see that happen. I definitely think that here in Austria, getting a good start is like essential to your race. But at the end of the day, I actually think that in Austria, you want to get a good start and then you want to survive turn 4. Because turn 1, you can you have a little bit more wiggle room because you have the escape route, so that if, say, someone on the outside goes too far, you can take the escape route and you don't crash. Turn 4 doesn't necessarily have that. So usually if you get a good start and you nail turn 4 perfectly, then you can hit that next straight and you could just go into the rest of the track and you have a pretty good head of steam to go, like, to gain a lot of position. So I could see it happening. And you actually mentioned Canada. I actually do think we could see almost, I don't want to call it shenanigans, but I do think we could see some crazy stuff happen like in Canada, because this is also kind of an infamous track for time penalties, and it's not as tight as Canada, but with Austria it's different because, I mean, especially in sector 3, where especially going down onto that front stretch, that last turn is usually where people pick up time penalties. So I do think that we could end up seeing the same situation like we did see in Canada, where time penalties could be a factor.
It truly does. I do agree with you, because I'm surprised I got the place I did with as many time penalties I had. But yeah, no, it truly can be like that, because penalties can really hurt you if you're in a good spot. Because if you're like right just past someone and you're like, heck yeah, and then all of a sudden, like, Canada in Division 1 as well, how Lizzie almost had the win, but then he did cut a corner, I'm pretty sure, and got a time penalty, and that gave Money the win.
Yeah, he actually got a penalty on I guess you'd say the Wall of Champions corner. That last turn is where he got the penalty. So technically you could say the Wall of Champions claimed 2 drivers there, because we did have a crash there earlier in that race. But
Yeah.
No Wall.
I think,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
sorry. I'm surprised I got that right, though, saying I think about 2 to 3 people was going to get claimed by the Wall of Champions.
That is true. You actually did get that correct. You did actually get that correct for, I think you got that right for Div 2, because I think you told us a prediction before the race, before you went to go race, and you actually got it right. So
I did.
yeah, and I don't know if I necessarily have any early predictions for this. You can see so far the lineup right now. Lizzie currently has pole position with a 103.7. Actually, I need to even get more specific, a 0.748. And then Meraki Don, yeah, look how close these times are. Meraki Don is in second place with a 103.783. And then Legleb has a 103.789. So the top 3 are separated by a very thin margin. And I mean, you could look down the whole grid. I mean, from first place till 15th, it's just about a second, almost like a just over maybe a 1.2 seconds. So this is a very fast
really
and
is.
very close grid.
It really is, because we've got people that's just honestly everyone just like barely as slow as the other by a margin, a tiny margin. It's not even a full hundredth really for some people.
Yeah, and I mean it's really close so far. Tai Tai is the only driver that did not set one, and he does have the 1 minute 19, but it was when he did basically another out lap. So we'll see if he's going to be able to get an actual lap in. Wildcat actually has not left the pits yet, and I will say this is going to be
I think
interesting because you can see the rest of the grid is now starting to go on their out lap, so we could see a fight down to the end.
we really could, and I'm pretty sure to answer your thing about cat not a wildcat not having or going out is I think he might have gotten a qualifying ban, but I'm not sure. Yeah, he did. He does have one.
Ah, okay. Now that's why I needed to double check that. That is my fault. But yeah, so Wildcat has a qualifying ban, so he will be in last place. And I'm curious to see how this is going to go. We're coming down to the wire. You can see that the whole grid is basically on the track. The only ones not are Wildcat, Grecos, and Project. And just about a minute, yeah, exactly a minute left. Lizzie and the rest of the top leaders are going to start their laps. And I'm kind of curious to see if they're going to get improvements. And I guess we were talking about it a little bit before the stream, talking about strategy. I'm kind of curious to see how this goes because I feel like Austria might be the one track that can really separate how good a driver is on softs versus how good they are on the other compounds. And actually Legleb will set his personal best and he will take over provisional pole with a 103.6.
Wow. And honestly, I was looking, and I know Wildcat being dead last is not going to help his case to get some points for
Ooh.
Red Bull.
And a new and now this is going to be very interesting as
Oh,
now the qualifying. Oh, but Lizzie got penalized at the end, so he finishes for now in fourth. Meraki Don up into second place, who set his time. Scaly Money with a 103.6 has provisional pole. Reed does not have a shot. He has an invalid lap. I think, yeah, Tukey is now the next driver. We'll see what time Tukey puts in. Is now coming down the front stretch. Right now, Money's still in provisional pole. Tukey will improve up into P6. Not enough. Illyrian will also improve, but it's not going to be enough. Enzo will improve as well. Now, Tai Tai is the last one, but it looks like he's not going to be able to get a time in. And that should end qualifying as wow. So the one person I don't know if I was necessarily expecting, Scala, I can't pronounce it, Money with the pole position. Wow.
I know. And it's crazy too. And honestly, I was looking with Wildcat starting dead last is not going to help Red Bull's case on trying to get constructors this season, because I was looking at it, and right now they have 104 points, and the leader right now is Haas, which has 158. They are 54 points ahead of Red Bull, and the second place is 111. So that's going to be very not helpful for Red Bull if they want constructors.
Yeah, I agree that it's definitely not going to help them, but they do have the most to gain. I would say between Red Bull and Racing Bulls, I would say would have the best chance of improving their constructor standings, because with Alpine you only have one driver, and Haas has a chance to improve their lead. But if you want to get back into it and you are Red Bull or V-Carb, you gotta perform very well in this race.
You truly do, because they need the points bad if they want to get close or even take the lead. Because I'm looking at it. Oh, okay, it put me in a car. Oh.
Actually, I don't think we've ever had this issue. I would just say go ahead and as soon as you can, just retire.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, that's a little unfortunate, but I think it was because you joined halfway through that you didn't get to put in spectating.
Yeah, no, it put me in a Ferrari. Oh, boy.
That's okay. You probably go ahead and retire and you'll be good. But so far, I do think that our strategy is probably going to be right. What we were talking about before, that the mediums and hards are just basically going to be the must-have. So far this season, hards have been basically like the rulers of this season. And so far it seems like whoever performs the best with the hard compound seems to do the best in the race. So I am interested to see if any of the, or how many of these drivers are going to start on mediums and then go to hards, or if anyone's going to start on hards and go to mediums. Because, I mean, we said before, I can't imagine anyone's going to start on softs.
Yeah, no, they most definitely will not be starting on softs. And I'm surprised it put me in the car. I guess, yeah, what you were saying earlier, I didn't get to put on spectator mode, but dang, okay. I guess I get a promotion from Haas to Ferrari.
I guess so in a way. But I have had this. I will say the reason why I said that is because I have also had the exact same thing happen to me, where I joined a lobby to spectate, and then halfway through it put me in a car. So definitely, like, sometimes the game just doesn't do what you want it to do. So
Yeah,
we're waiting.
I'm most definitely gonna retire in pits.
Yeah. Yeah, all good. Just an honest mistake, and I can assume that you're not gonna cause a safety car or anything. We'll keep that in mind for future reference, because apparently maybe that must be a game-breaking glitch. Maybe I'm starting to think that, like, with that happening to multiple people, I'm starting to think that just might be a glitch or something. But I guess we'll just keep that in mind for future reference.
From apparently rumors, Illyrian has the wrong setup. That could be very bad for him.
Oh, yeah. But I will say though, Money, I believe that it was Money said that he had the wrong setup in Canada and he still won anyway. So there's still a chance, as the 5 lights are out and we are underway here in Austria. It looked like Money actually got a good start. Meraki Don is going to file in behind him as we head into turn 1. All of the drivers, it looks like, will get up. Illyrian is actually the biggest gainer up into P7, as you can see them all filing. So far, 2 wide is the most that we've seen so far. And now side by side with Pool Diver and Tukey. Pool Diver, a little bit of contact, but Tukey able to save it. Illyrian's going to take advantage, go side by side. And I think they're still side by side. Illyrian's going to get the move done across. Illyrian goes up into P6, and now he looks like he's going to make a move on Pool Diver, but Pool Diver with a very aggressive defense. And now Scaly Money is, he had a moment. Scaly Money is falling down the order, down into P9, and Meraki Don will overtake the lead.
I'm just sitting here kind of racing, watching it all happen.
Just don't forget to retire in pits as the first lap is over. DRS is enabled. And actually, we can go ahead and turn on and look at the drivers and what strategies they picked. Actually, surprisingly, majority of the lobby chose to go onto the mediums. There's only 4 drivers who decided to start on the hard. So very interesting decision there.
Very. And now I am back as spectator mode.
Yeah, so we are all good. I don't think you'll cause a safety car. And actually, Illyrian and Pool Diver still side-by-side fighting. And I think Illyrian will finally get the move done as getting around Pool Diver to secure it. And I will say, this entire lobby, they're all within 1 second of each other, where it's the whole grid. I don't know if I've ever seen the entire grid this close. We'll see how it goes through the rest of the race, but usually you see like the top 4 drivers start to kind of pull away from the grid. You're not really seeing that here.
No, and as I was racing, I had I made myself have like a bad start, but it seemed like Wildcat also had a bad start, so I'm like, oh, well, crap.
And so far, maybe movement in the back. Tai and Tenzo side by side. Actually, Tai will get the move done. Looked like he had a little bit more grip. And I mean, you can see just all down the line, you can see almost every single car with DRS open. And now Tai's going to go to the inside of Project, maybe a little bit of a tap, but it wasn't enough to affect either car. And they will keep going. Nothing wrong with a little wheel banging every now and then, but I'm still kind of curious to see how this race is going to go, because I thought that a lot of the drivers were going to take the hards. Apparently not.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I kind of see what they're doing. They're going to medium, hard, or medium, hard, medium, because if you do that, well, you're able to have a good start, gain some spots, and also be able to last the whole race. Like the end of the race, so your tires don't go out on you. That's actually pretty smart to do, because then you won't have to worry about your tires popping or something like that.
That is very true, but I mean, I'm very hesitant to say about how many stops we'll see. And actually, Tai will move up. I believe Freed and Tenzo, or no, Freed had a moment, so he falls down into P11. But I was gonna say, I'm very tentative to say that each race is a guaranteed 2-stop, because somehow, some way, someone has pulled off the 1-stop at Silverstone, Canada, and Baku. So I'm very hesitant to say that every single race will be a 2-stop. I can imagine the majority of this grid will take it, as we get our first time penalty goes to Tenzo. But
oh wow,
I can't imagine anyone's gonna try the 1-stop. But if they can somehow pull it off and they get a good result, then don't listen to me.
Yeah, no, honestly, my league actually had this race already, but it was a rain race, and I was looking at it with it being dry. I know somebody that can pull the hards to 20 laps, maybe even 25, and then pit, because they've been able to keep their tires so good, and they got a podium too. If you can pull it off, it can help your case a lot in this race, because you'll be able to gain so many spots with people pitting. But the only thing is, can you be consistent on speed and keep your tires alive?
Yeah, because the last thing that you want to happen is to end up getting a puncture, because you get a puncture and that basically just ends your race, or not necessarily ends your race, but it can really hurt your chances in this race. So I mean, you more than likely want to just keep that balance and maybe just go for the 2-stop to make sure that you get to the end of the race. But like I said, if someone can end up pulling off the 1-stop, then definitely kudos to them if they could do it, because I can imagine that there's a lot of drivers that don't necessarily try to make their tires go longer. Now there's, ooh, we almost had a moment between Money and Tai Tai. Tai Tai will actually get past Money, and now he's gonna lock up, and oh, that could not have been closer. I think he messed up. He carried too much speed going out of the second DRS zone, and he was able to hit the one opening and didn't collect anyone else. That was really good avoidance by Money and Project behind him, and a good job by Tai Tai to make sure he didn't collect anyone. And actually, Project is going to go ahead and try and make the move on the inside of Money, and he's going to go wide, but he is going to keep the place. So it looks like he may have overshot that corner, but he'll keep it for now as he moves up into P8.
And it seems like collision with Illyrian and Tukey. It seemed like Tukey tried to go for Gab that wasn't there, but then failed because Illyrian blocked it off for him. Oh.
Yeah, Tukey falls down all the way to P11. It didn't look like Illyrian had any damage from what I could see. And I mean, if you want to see the action, you just need to go to the midfield. As now Tai Tai's going to go to the inside of Money. Maybe a little bit of wheel banging. Maybe it was a little bit of I forget what it is called in iRacing, but it didn't look like the two cars were hitting each other. But Tai Tai was able to get by, and he's up into P8 now.
It seems like the top four right now have a pretty good gap on the rest of the grid. They all just are in like a DRS train, and it seems like the Lizzie's getting Illyrian out of the DRS, and he is out of the DRS now.
And actually, we see our first driver to pit. It's Pool Diver, and he's actually going to throw on the hard compound. So he only went 8 laps on those medium tires, or sorry, 7 laps on those medium tires, and he immediately switched over to the hards. And now side by side down into the second DRS straight. This could get very hairy. There's a Williams and Mercedes, and now to the inside goes Money of the Mercedes. Is it gonna make it stick? He will. Now Mercedes lost grip and hit Project, and they're still side by side fighting, and it's gonna come down to who has the most grip, and Project on that hard compound had the most grip. That could have ended a lot worse, but definitely a great job by these drivers. I mean, for the most part, we've seen a little bit of wheel banging, but for the most part, we've seen very clean side-by-side racing.
Yeah, and it seems like Meraki Don got Leclerc out of DRS as well. Now it's just Alizzi and Leclerc that's in, or Alizzi in Leclerc's DRS, and it seems like Alizzi overtakes Leclerc.
And just like that, Alizzi up into P2, but that will give DRS over to Legleb, so maybe that will help him to get back. Because I will say, I think people underestimate that Illyrian has the pace, or sorry, Illyrian and Alizzi both have pace. So maybe for Legleb, if you know Alizzi has the pace, all you got to do is just stay within DRS range behind him, and eventually both of you will start catching up to the leader, and we'll see maybe if that works. But I mean, so far, Meraki Don has done a good job, and actually Alizzi is going to go ahead and pit. So it looks like a lot of the drivers who are using the medium compound are just going to go ahead and pit. And Tai Tai actually will get his first 3-second penalty, and it was at the corner that I had said going onto the front stretch, and that was where he ended up getting the penalty. But so far, a lot of, and actually you can see multiple drivers, Alizzi and Illyrian, actually both Haas drivers stack up. They double stack to both pit, and Money also pit, and Tinzo also pit, and they all switched onto the hard compound. Actually, the only one who didn't was Illyrian, who went from medium to medium. So interesting strategy call so far.
Well, with Illyrian, I guess he's just trying to keep his speed up so that he can get good spots, and then with the hards, he'll go on whenever there's like so laps left. He'll be able to get the undercut possibly on some other drivers.
Yeah, and that is very possible. But I do think, I mean, it is like almost like a game of cat and mouse, depending on trying to maybe decide when to pit versus when your teammates or when other people behind you are going to pit. And actually, Tai will now move up into P2 as Legleb, Enzo, and Tukey will pit. Low Pro will pit as well. So those medium runners, so now Wildcat is up into P5 simply because he was using the hard compound. Meraki Don is 8 seconds ahead of Tai with Project behind. So now we've seen a lot of the grid has split up from the pit stops. So it is going to be interesting now to see how long the hard compound will last. And I'm going to be very interested to see, because, I mean, you could probably see it on your end. It's getting cloudy. If it starts raining, that could throw all of this out of whack.
It really could, because in some of these turns, they're like speed turns. So you'll have to brake a whole lot earlier than before let off the gas as much, because going into a speed turn with wet tires on, with it pouring the rain, is not fun to try to keep your car on the track, because you'll start sliding off. And also, this first turn will not be fun unless you get it. And Illyrian with the pole or fastest lap. But yeah, no, as I was saying, driving in Austria is not fun in the wet. I've done it, and I like the rain, but I didn't like that.
I can also attest to that I did not have fun racing in the wet in Austria. But the one race that I did it, I think I got P3 in that race that I did. So I was at least happy with that, because I'm not a good driver in the rain anyway. But it will be interesting to see. Actually, right now, Tai is the last remaining driver on those mediums that has yet to pit. And actually, oh, the camera fooled me. I thought he was about to pull into the pits, but never mind. He's going to keep on going. And actually, Meraki Don pulls into the pits, and he slaps on the mediums. Though he goes 12 laps on the hard compound. Freed will get a 3-second time penalty for track limits. So Tai will actually go up into the lead. Project in P2, Alizzi in P3. Meraki Don may end up racing, and no, he's going to get out ahead of Illyrian. He's probably very happy about that. And actually, talking about that, Legleb is going to go around the outside with DRS, and he's going to go right past Illyrian. But now we'll see if Illyrian has a response, as now he's going to have DRS going into this next sector, and just like that, he's gonna leapfrog right back. He's got the mushroom from Mario Kart. He's gonna go right by, and Illyrian will go right back up into P5.
Yeah, no, and I was honestly, about not this actual race, but in real life, the China sprint, I honestly watched it last night, and it was pretty nice. And I'm glad Antonelli did what he did.
Oh, now another interesting development. Project has pit. Project, who also started on the hards, now pits for the mediums. He falls into P8. So now Tai is the only remaining driver that has yet to pit. I don't necessarily know what his tires wear is up to. 810 will get a 3-second time penalty for track limits violations. You can see Alizzi is slowly clawing back time toward Tai, but I'm kind of curious to see what Tai's strategy is. I don't know if he's trying to go for maybe the one stop, but those mediums have to be hurting by this point.
Oh yeah, they definitely are, probably. Because those mediums, you can only take them so far till they start to crumble, or till they start to be like, okay, how about we just pop?
I think actually Tai can hear us because now he peels into the pits. So we'll see what tire selection he has, as a Lizzie will leapfrog back into the lead, and Meraki Don actually will set the fastest lap. Pool Diver will get a 3-second time penalty. So now we'll see, and actually Tai is slapping on the hard compound, so he will go onto the hard compound. Tenzo with a 3-second time penalty. And now you can actually see that a lot of the grid has now gotten a lot closer after the pit stops. So we'll see if anyone starts to make more and more moves. I'm really looking toward Project and Tai because we'll see. I guess this is where now you can see the conflicting strategies, because originally we saw basically the entire field had mediums. Now we really see almost like a half and half, or not, maybe just maybe below a half and half, but you definitely see a split.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely, and it seems like Illyrian's on the tail of like Leb trying to get his DRS, and he's getting the DRS. So it's just really a matter of time of when he passes the Gleb. And that's if the Gleb fights him about it, we'll get to see a pretty good fight. I'm freed with another penalty.
Actually, we can go ahead and pull up the penalties right now. Penalties right now are to Pool Diver, who has 3-second time penalties. Actually, Meraki Don makes the move, but now it's going to be a big question. Who has DRS? Actually, Meraki Don had DRS. He passed Lizzie after getting the DRS, so that's going to allow him to keep the lead, and we have a new leader here in the Austrian Grand Prix.
Meraki Don seems like he's bringing his A game to this race tonight. And hopefully today, wherever you are watching. But it seems like he's probably going to win the race with the pace he's doing or has, and with the plays that he's making. He could possibly win the race tonight or today.
Yeah, I do think that it is still like we're just about a couple laps away from halfway through the race, but so far it looks like Meraki Don, Lizzie, Legleb, and Illyrian have had the best, or have the best pace. Project will get his first penalty, his first time penalty, 3-second time penalty for track limits violations. So we can see how the rest of this race is going to go, but so far now it looked like there was maybe a moment. Yeah, Aston Martin overshot, and oh my goodness, almost a heart attack. Thank goodness he ghosted when he tried to get out of the way after spinning, and that was Salty in the Aston Martin who had a moment. So actually that will move everyone up a place, and I'm interested to see how the rest of this race is going to go, because everyone has now done their one stop. We will see if any or who is going to do the 2-stop and when they are going to. And
Legleb penalty.
So Legleb is going to get his first 3-second time penalty, and we've seen from other races how much time penalties can affect the outcome of the race, and we'll see how it all comes down to it when we get to the end of the race, and we'll see. And actually, maybe did Freed have a moment? Yeah, Freed had a moment. He's in the wall, and he is missing his front end. No safety car called yet. Right now, it remains a yellow flag, and it will remain a yellow flag as Freed will get going again. And actually, I will say, I think this might be, I might be commentating cursing here, but this might be the longest that we've had all season that did not have a safety car, because Baku was full of safety cars. Canada had its own safety cars as well, and especially with the rain, it made it way crazier. But so far, this might be the longest streak we've had.
And it seems like money's right there on Illyrian, and it's just a matter of time when he gets DRS to pass him, and it seems like he has DRS, and he might make the move right here or either the next straightaway.
Ooh.
Tenzo with a time penalty.
Tenzo will get another time penalty. Actually, right there, he will make the move with the DRS going around. But now, Illyrian will have DRS going onto this straight. So we'll see if Illyrian is going to be able to make the move back. And he has the battery. He's deploying it, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch back up. Freed will get a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he will go ahead and retire in the pit lane. And Money will secure P4, but Illyrian is still on his tail.
Both Ferraris seem to have DNF.
Well, one for real Ferrari, the other one was a glitch Ferrari, so we can't really compare it the same way. Oh, and now we actually see an interesting call here. Illyrian will peel into the pits, and actually he did the exact same stint, about 8 or 9 laps on, or now technically 10 laps on those mediums. So now I can imagine that he's probably going to go on the hards. Yeah, he's going on to the hards to go out for the rest of the race. So now with I'd say one of the leaders now peeling in, I'd actually say, and actually talking about the lead, Meraki Don defending the inside, and he's going to be able to hold on, but Lizzie is still right on his tail. We might see a move here in the end of Sector 2, because Lizzie is right on his tail, and this could be a very interesting battle for the lead.
Yeah, I truly think it's going to be between Lizzie and Meraki Don for this race win, because Meraki Don and Lizzie both probably have one more pit. Have to pit one more time, so it's truly going to be down to who's on the better tires, and that's going to be Lizzie, because he's done used a pair of hards. He's more likely going to go and put on some mediums.
And actually now it looks like the DRS is going to be at the most benefit to him, as Lizzie's going to go around the outside, and he holds the lead for right now. Now to the inside, as Meraki Don can be able to get it back. It looks like he does have DRS. He does have DRS and the battery. And now is he going to make the move coming out of the DRS going? He's going to go on the outside of Lizzie. He locks up that that right front. They're still side by side battling through Sector 2. Salty will get a 3-second time penalty. Now to the inside, and now it looked like there was a little bit of contact, but not enough. And then everyone will keep their front wing and rear wing, and just like that, Meraki Don will reclaim the lead as this battle for P1 continues.
That took some skill, though, for Lizzie not to take away his wing.
Yeah,
and Lizzie put the DRS. Will he make the move here, or will he make the move next straight? And he
thought
like he wanted to, but backed out.
He definitely thought about making the move, but now it looks like he's probably going to make the move here on the straightaway. And actually, it looks like now he's going to wait to make the move. Oh, no, he doesn't. He waits again. It looks like he did get the better exit, but now he has DRS and maybe a little bit more battery. So here we go again. Maybe for round 3 is now Lizzie again. He looked like he wanted to make the move, but instead he backs off. So he backs off and waits again. He is on those 12-lap-old hard tires. And actually, funny enough, Meraki Don would also be pitting for mediums because he's already used the hard compound. We do have a caution. Le Gleb has fallen, and he's spun going out of the second DRS zone. He will get going again, so it won't be a safety car. But as
that would be the best time to pit. And as I say that, Lizzie goes in the pits.
So I feel like they're maybe listening, and Tai will get another 3-second time penalty as he is right there. And I mean, Tai is an interesting piece in all this because he was the one who went the longest on the medium. So now I'm interested to see how far he'll go on the hards. But now with Lizzie pitting, I'm curious to see where or when Meraki Don will pit, because he is now on the 10-lap-old mediums. He is about 5.5 seconds ahead of Tai. And actually now we see a Mercedes up into P3, but Project is right behind Enzo, and I don't know if he's gonna go for the move. It doesn't look like he's gonna go for the move, but he is still right on their tail. And actually, we were talking about the standings, both in constructors and individual for drivers. This actually would put right now at the standings, I believe this actually would put Meraki Don back in the lead over both Alizzi and Illyrian. But
It would.
I don't know. This is actually, oh, now look at this. So both Meraki Don and Project will peel in. Meraki Don puts on another set of hards. So we went from hard, medium to hard. So I'm curious to
also
see.
put on some hards.
Yeah, so maybe they went for a different set of compounds, but very interesting.
Yeah. Alizzi has been able to go crawl and come out in front of Meraki Don. Now it's just up to him and Meraki Don to catch up to Enzo and Tai, then he could possibly win the race, because Enzo might pit and with another 3-second penalty. Let's go look at the penalties, as we have Tenzo with 9 seconds worth of penalties, Tai with 6 seconds, then Project, Poor Diver, Salty, McGleb with 3 seconds, then we have IM with 6 seconds. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see how these penalties will affect the timing when we get to the end of the race. I'm still just kind of wondering how this is going to go. Tuki actually will overtake, Tenzo and Tuki will swap places. Tuki go up into P7. I'm just kind of interested to see when Tai's going to pit, because...
Oh, Tenzo fell down because he pitted and gave Tuki the... Alright. I feel like if I was Tuki, I wouldn't have fought him.
Oh, now actually, this is really going to help Alizzi. Alizzi is going to go ahead and pass Enzo. Enzo is actually on the oldest tires that we've seen so far, 14 lap old hard tires. And Alizzi is going to go ahead and pass him. And you can kind of see the wear as he's already outside of DRS range. But now Meraki Don is now within DRS range of Enzo. We'll see if Enzo will choose to pit. Enzo will choose to pit. So Meraki Don will go up into P3 behind Alizzi. And Tai's still 9 seconds ahead of Alizzi. And I mean, we'll see. Now he has the oldest laps on, or the oldest tires, I should say, with the most laps, 11 laps. And with 11 laps to go, I'm really curious to see if Tai is trying to go for the one stop, or if he's going to peel in soon for those mediums.
I think Tai might peel in soon. And Wildcat with a 3-second penalty. His first 3-second penalty.
And I mean, we said it before. We said that Austria and Canada definitely had their own penalties. 810 will get a 10-second penalty, and 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. As he will go ahead and pit, and he's gonna put on, or no, he puts on soft. Maybe he will. I don't know if
he might be going for the fastest lap. Maybe
that is possible, but we'll see how that works. Tai still actually holds. I thought Tai was gonna lose a lot more time. He's been keeping that 8.5-second gap ahead of Alizzi, so I mean, maybe Tai has a few more laps with the hard compound than what we had originally predicted, but behind him, Meraki Don and Alizzi are fighting side by side. So, I mean, this race really could come down to Tai, Alizzi, and Meraki Don, because it completely depends on when Tai is going to pit.
It seems like Tai is losing time on them, and if they get him down to 6 seconds of being behind him, they'll pass him because of his penalties.
And actually, he did put on a little bit of time, because actually that is going to be the
Yeah.
thing. If both Lizzie and Meraki Don are fighting, they might not have as much speed trying to, or as much focus trying to catch up to Tai Tai. Maybe that's what Tai Tai is banking on. And I mean, to be fair, we did see Tai Tai take mediums very far in the race, and it didn't look like he was having grip issues. So maybe he's trying to take the hards the same way, trying to take them a little bit longer with his tire management. But
Possibly.
yeah, I don't know. Illyrian and Money are actually side by side going out of the Sector 1 DRS zone. Illyrian has DRS. He's right behind Money, going to the inside, and he overshoots the corner.
Oh.
And Money is going to go ahead and go through, but he will get back on the track. So thank goodness to him that he's going to be able to get back on with no damage. And Tai Tai once again will not go into pits, so that is, now we are on lap 29 out of 36, and now he has the second oldest tires that we've seen in this race with 14 lap old hard tires. And actually, surprisingly, he is still outside, or he still has the penalty gap advantage. He's still 7 seconds ahead of Lizzie.
And it seems like Meraki Don might go for the overtake, and he does.
Going up the mid side. I don't know if that really could have been closer, and he actually does get the DRS for the second straight, so he's gonna try and keep the place, and it looks like he will. A very big lockup there, as now he's gonna take it, and he will retain second place, as now him and Lizzie are catching up to Tai Tai, as Tai Tai now is just outside that penalty bubble. And I'm curious to see if maybe he will choose to pit. No, he's just going to keep on going. So maybe he's going to try and maybe just inch it out. I mean, right now, he would get third. Right now, he's still technically in first place, even with the penalties. But if Meraki Don and Lizzie catch up to him, he would end up falling. And now he's definitely fallen down into third place, and I can imagine that will make him want to just go ahead and pit, as now he has 9 seconds worth of penalties.
Which, that could be smart, but I would stay out because that's still third place, and he is 16 seconds ahead of Money. That would give him third place, I say. And as I'm talking, Tenzo gets another 30-second penalty.
Actually, still side by side fighting, and actually Enzo will overtake Project for the time being. I believe Project's gonna have DRS, so we'll see if Project is gonna be able to chase him down. Pool Diver right behind him as well. It doesn't look like he's gonna be able to make the move there, but so far, looking at the penalties, right now Tai Tai has 9 seconds of penalties, Tukey with 3, Project with 3, Pool Diver with 3, Salty with 3, Legleb with 3, Tinzo with 12, and actually now add Enzo into that with 3 seconds. Tinzo has 12, Wildcat has 3, and then 810 has 16 seconds worth of penalties.
It seems like Wildcat could possibly be close to getting into 10th with the penalties.
That is actually very realistically possible. And
Same
actually,
with Greco.
sorry, go ahead.
Also with Greco's, he has no penalties. He's right there with them. He could possibly get into 10th if he kicks into the gear.
That is very true. And actually, I was going to go ahead and say that one thing that actually is helping Tai Tai is that Money has not had as great of pace, and actually he's losing time to both Lizzie and Meraki Don. So even with Tai Tai having lost that kind of bubble with his time penalties, if you look at the gap to leader, Money is still 16 seconds behind Tai Tai, so Tai Tai still would be in
Third place.
would still be in third place in a podium position. So very interesting, and I'm starting to think that he will stay out from what we've seen. I mean, he's on the 17 lap old hard tires, but you have 4 laps to go. So I can imagine that he may just try and just stick it out to the end maybe, but I'm still curious to see. And Meraki Don is right now holding on to what is essentially first place right now, as he is still holding on. 810 will get another 3-second time penalty, as Olizzi is still just right behind Meraki Don. And I mean, these two have been fighting all day long, and I mean, they've been fighting all season as well. And I mean, that's definitely nothing that we could take away from. And if we consider the standings right now, Olizzi would keep the lead, or at least I believe it would be close. Salty will get his, I believe, first or second 3-second time penalty, but right now it would be close between Olizzi, Illyrian, and Meraki Don. We have a caution, I believe. Was that Tenzo? Yeah, that was Tenzo having a slide going out of sector 2. And still, Olizzi is still just within half a second, and with just about 3 laps to go, this is the race for the win.
It really is. Money making up 2 seconds, though. That could honestly really help him. If he can just kick it into gear and gain more, he could possibly bring it down, but that's a big if.
Very big if. Tenzo will retire in the pits, so it's just a yellow flag and nothing more. And now still DRS enabled. I mean, they probably have a battery. Both of their batteries are probably drained, as Olizzi's just been trying to catch up to Meraki Don, or at least keep pace with Meraki Don. And I mean, just so far, Meraki Don has just had that little bit of an edge to try and I don't know. It's just in terms of pace, Meraki Don has just had that little bit of that it factor. Right? I mean, it literally could be the difference of moving your wings up or down by 2. So it's like, it's not much. Olizzi and Meraki Don are like going pace for pace.
They really are. It's honestly both of their race. They both could, either one of them win. If Olizzi gets good DRS and passes, he could fairly win, especially if it's on the last lap.
Yeah, and it looks like actually Tai will try and finish the race, at least in first place, at least even with the penalty. He's going to try and finish in first, which I respect him for that. I 100% respect him for that. And
me as well.
I'm still just, I just don't know if Olizzi is just, he's been fast all day long, but it just seems like Meraki Don has just been slightly faster. So, I mean, it's definitely going to come down to this last lap and a half, but I just don't know if he has enough pace.
And I feel like Tai, if he possibly didn't get those penalties, he could have won possibly. But that's a big if, because he would have to keep Meraki Don and Olizzi behind him. And from what I've been seeing lately in this league, that's not very easy, as Meraki Don's going for the move.
Oh, he goes for the move. They go side by side. Tai actually will peel out of the way. Oh, I think he may have a puncture. You can see he was slide. Oh, yes, he has a puncture. So Tai now is going to just try and get to the end, as now we're on the final lap between Olizzi and Meraki Don. Oh my goodness, Olizzi almost cut the corner, just barely didn't. But now this is his real last chance in the DRS. I don't know if he has the pace. He has no battery left. So he's still just behind Meraki Don. He's still within half a second. But now, this is the last chance for him to do it. He has to have something left in the tank here in this last sector 3. Does he have anything as he just tries to keep pace? It doesn't look like he does, as now Meraki Don is going to try and hold on. Does he have it for these last 2 corners as we've seen in Canada? Does he hold on? He does, and Meraki Don is going to come home in first place and win the Austrian Grand Prix. Money will actually go ahead and pass Tai with the puncture, and Money actually will come home in P3, as Tukey is going to come home in P4 for right now with the penalties. And Tai will just barely get across the line. Illyrian will go up and ahead. Pool Diver will go ahead as well. Tai falls down into 9th, as Enzo in 7th, Project 8th, Lopro in 9th. Tai falls down into 10th. And now Salty in P11. Legleb will come home in P12. Wildcat in P13, and actually no, Grecos is actually going to get a higher up into a better start.
What, and another 10-second penalty for IN again.
He must have peeled into the pits at the very last spot, but that is a race win for Meraki Don. He had that 2-race skid due to the internet connection and then a bad race in Baku, and now he makes it. He wipes it away and he returns back to the top of the podium and he reclaims his spot. And I mean, the three leaders, Money, Meraki Don, and Alizzi, all right there. And they will claim their top spots once again.
I will have to go now, but
you are all good. I can go ahead and take care of the interviews. Thank you so much, Antonelli, for commentating.
Of course. Alrighty.
Wait, Paul, bro, Antonelli.
Driver of the day was Illyrian. Tai actually gets most overtakes. Grecos gets cleanest driver, and then Meraki Don with the fastest lap, and he is the race winner. We'll see. We already have Money in here. We can see Alizzi had said before that he will not be here for the interview, so we can see if we can get. Meraki Don in here for an interview. Not sure if he is available yet, but we will see. But I guess we can go ahead while we wait. Oh, there he is. There you go. Potato, how you feeling right now? Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. I don't know. I feel like this was just like something that was in the making. Like, I've had 2 bad races, like back to back, moving houses, everything just felt a little odd. And it was like this race, I was like, I just gotta come out and perform.
Yeah, and I mean, that was something that we had talked about in the broadcast, that we talked about. You had like a 2-race skid where you just didn't really perform well, which one of them was an internet connection, which, I mean, we can't always control that. Even just yesterday, I had my own internet drop because of construction. So I can understand how having your internet drop is very aggravating. But I mean, I would say you and Alizzi and Money, you guys all just had the fastest pace. I mean, how did it feel out there? I mean, you guys all really look like locked in.
I mean, I wasn't saying like I'm fully locked in. Like, this is like by far like the track I like don't enjoy the most. This track just feels really odd to drive. But I mean, like, yeah, I had a lock in because I knew it would have been hard because Alizzi, of course, like he's been up there. There's people that have been up here. It's not a walk in the park how it was last season, but it was a small little lock in. I was just being consistent. I figured out the strategy like really early on, so I knew I can kind of just run with it.
Yeah, and actually, this is another question, one last question that I will ask Money as well. That now, in terms of the driver championship, right now it is basically we have almost a 5-way run for the championship between you, Money, Alizzy, Illyrian, and you could include Vide in there as well. So, I mean, you talked about last season and the difference between last season, you were way more dominant. I mean, Verstappen 2023 style. Now we're seeing something a lot more like F1 2025, where we have a bunch of drivers for the championship. How do you feel going into the rest of the season, knowing that everything is this close?
I don't feel any kind of way. I felt like how it was with just me and Tata. Is kind of like whoever wins was just deserving of it. Whoever performs, you know. And then how I kind of feel is anybody that has to take it to the steel room is kind of just like kind of icky, because it's like Rubbing's racing, and then it's just arms out. Everybody's swinging at each other. There's 5 people fighting. You have 2 teammates, and they have Money, and then Alpine. So it's gonna be an odd and very cool looking season for people that are watching.
Yeah, and I mean, I could say that from a broadcasting point of view. It has been very entertaining and interesting to watch. And before you go, as always, do you have anyone that you would like to give credit to or shout out for the stream?
I'd like to give you a shout out, and then I'd also like to give Illyrian and Wildcat a shout out, because after the race in Baku, I was just gonna leave. Like, I was just gonna call it quits, because it's just like I was losing my entire like drive in this game. I just didn't feel the same way, so I was just like, that was kind of just it. Big shout out to them, big shout out to you, even though you haven't streamed in God knows how long. But yeah, that's really my shout outs.
I can say that I promise that streaming will become more normal, and you guys will be able to hear me more often in the broadcast once I graduate May 2nd. You don't know how much I have that date circled once I graduate, but congratulations on the win. I will let you go, and like I said, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And also now to Alizzy, who finished the second, is not here for the interview, but we do have Money. Money, how are you feeling right now?
I was good, because pole was totally unexpected. I don't know how. At the time is a time that I made, but I don't not train for 2 weeks. I have my shit wheel because the other one is in repairing. So maybe in Austria work before I run in China, and then I lose 5/10 for lap on pace. So I don't know how I can do so well here in quali. And also after in lap 1 I have a contact with Meraki, but I don't know how it happened. I think he was outside. We crossed the tire. I need to check the video if there is something wrong or not. But I fall down P10, I think, and after I was in the pack of the middle pack. We are all fighting. There is a moment that I overtake 3 cars in one time with a what is the name of the move in English? Because when you cross the line of the other one. For what is the name of the move? Switchback. Oh, I make a switchback and I overtake three guys. So it was fun there. After I work on my pace, on my strategy, I was confident on pace because I was easy on this track to stay in the track limits and also to maintain the pace. My pace was good, but even if I was in the fight with the guys in front since the beginning, I don't think that I can think too much more than what I do. So it's okay. For me, a podium. I don't compete for main. I don't compete for main for driver championship because I don't think to be so fast to compete in that. But I was happy. There's another good result after 2 victories, another podium. Quite happy about that.
I mean, you say that you don't consider yourself to be in the drivers championship, but you definitely points wise are. I mean, even after today, you're still at least in second or third place. How do you I was gonna ask the same thing to you that I did to Meraki Don. How do you feel knowing that you're really in the mix? You're only one of 5 drivers that really have a shot of winning. So I mean, how do you feel about that?
Okay, it's nice, but I know it's only for some circumstances, because many drivers have 0 on the point table, and I have luck 2 times on my victories. So, but I was happy that I am happy with what I'm better that I fought at the beginning, because if you remember, if I can fight for top 5, sometimes I was happy, and now is the third time I am on the podium. So I think can be a great result for me, and so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, and it's definitely a great result, and I can't wait to see how the rest of this season is gonna go. I mean, between you, Meraki Don, I was reading his Discord name. Between you, Meraki Don, Illyrian, Olizzy, I mean, you guys have all been racing really, really well, and it's been great to watch. And as always, is there anyone that you would like to give credit to on the stream?
What mate? Sorry.
Is there anyone that you would like to give credit to on the stream?
To my sons, as ever, Nicolas and Emily, and also to the commentator that make all time a great job. But tell me, do you expect my pole position before, or was totally unexpected? Because I take out for my cylinder, I think, today, because I until a minute 8 minutes left, I have no time set. So I say, okay, now I shit on my pants. I say, okay, now it's time to do something.
From our perspective, we were keeping tabs. We were watching. I don't think me or Antonelli were expecting you to get pole, but I mean, you absolutely deserved it when we watched it, and you got the fastest lap. So I mean, like, definitely great. I mean, great pole lap to get pole position, but then you ended up having a great race as well. We gotta go ahead and wrap up the Division 1 stream so we can get ready for Division 2, in which I know, actually, you guys, it's one thing that I've loved to see as a commentator, that Division 1 has actually been very vocal in Division 2 and helping these other drivers. So I can't wait to see how Division 2 will go. That is going to be everything for Division 1. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Stick around, as here in just about a half an hour, we will return with Division 2 race here at Austria. So if you were here for Division 1, I hope you guys have a great night or a great day wherever you guys are in the world. And if you guys want to stick around for Division 2, stick around for half an hour, and we will return with more Rush Racing action.